Happy Guy Fawkes Day, guys. It's Guy Fawkes Day. Woo!
Yay! Happy holidays.
Yay! Happy holidays. Okay, I can't wear this entire time.
I love it. You're not? It looks so good though.
Oh, Chris, you don't know it, but if we weren't already on a list, we're on all the lists now.
We're on all this now. Yeah, I just showed up.
Alan.
Yeah, remember the 5th
Chris
of
is like,
November.
I don't want to be on that list.
I don't want to be on a list. I'm definitely on a list. But yeah, good day. Yeah, that's my Guy Fawkes Max somewhere. I just dropped it. Here it is.
It'd be better if you just wore a Natalie Portman mask. I'd be okay
I
with
could
that.
have. Oh, yeah, there you go. Just use a filter, easier to breathe. Yeah, I guess I could find a filter, but it is what it is. It's more I can't see because I need glasses. Otherwise, I can't see anything. So I guess I have contacts. I can get one of those. I can get some contacts. Yeah, it's Happy Guy Fawkes Day for all of our wonderful people in England, I guess not England, but Great Britain,
Great Britain,
UK, United Kingdom, our British friends. I don't know if it's that big of a deal over there, but I got the mask.
We like to think so.
I like to think it is. It's like St. Patty's Day. It's not really that big of a deal in Ireland as much as it is in Boston. But
right. Everybody else celebrates it.
The big thing. Our Cinco de Mayo, which is not even a real thing in Mexico, but in America, it is lit. If you're like, what is Cinco de Mayo? It's like the 5th of May. It has to do with like, is it like some random battle that the Mexicans won in some random war? And like, it has nothing to do with the independence or anything, but we definitely drink lots of tequila.
I was about to say, usually I'm drinking so much, as soon as somebody explains to me the history, I have one more shot of tequila and then it's gone.
I forgot.
Yeah.
The Irish are sensitive about the UK thing. Is it the Northern Irish as well? I don't know.
I know. Careful getting into that conversation when you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. When you get to the British Isles and the United Kingdom and all the things like that, it's all a touchy subject. I just remember when I was sailing in Australia, we came upon a boat. The name of the boat was the Lily Bolero. And I called him on the radio and I was like, hey, sailing vessel of Cape York. And they're like, and the guy came over and had a pretty posh accent. Like it wasn't like a very, very guttural or like Cockney. And I was like, oh, we got an Englishman. And that accent went from posh to pissed off Welshman really fast. Because if you ever call a Welshman an Englishman, whoo,
gotta be careful.
Yeah, them Wales people do not like to be. Yeah, don't call them English. They're not English. They're Welsh. Fucking Welsh.
How are you supposed to know though? They all look the same.
Oh,
they don't.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
They don't sound the same. And I mean, so Welsh usually have a very, very like distinctive accent because it's really hard to understand them. No offense to our Welsh fans. The same thing through Liverpool or an East London Cockney accent. It's really hard to understand. Or like a really thick Scottish accent. Really hard to understand.
The thick Scottish accents when they get on a roll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But if like you're Manc, like if you're from Manchester, it's very, very easy to understand. Or if you're from proper London, it's a proper English accents. Yeah. Proper English. Anyway, good stuff. Yeah, messing with dialects and stuff like that. Are they going through some stuff now still? I didn't know there's current issues going on. I mean, I know there's always issues going on, but like
yeah.
I didn't know the Irish was I didn't know stuff was flaring back up. Yeah. Which is fine. I mean,
well, here's news for you that's probably not news for you. The news we hear about of what's going on politically around the world in other countries, it's already filtered when it gets to us, right? We get the sound bites. What's actually happening on the streets, I could tell you right now, you have no idea unless you go there. And you would think there wouldn't be such a barrier between us and what's going on in like Western Europe. But there's a huge barrier. And the only reason I know, even the little bit I know, is when I did that deployment to Zambia, it was me, one other U.S. soldier, and then a British peacekeeping support team.
Sure.
And there was like a dozen of them, and they were from all different places. and half of them were MPs, and on the civilian side, they work for whatever their police force is called out there. We'll just call them cops. So I messaged them back and forth sometimes, and there's been some pretty sketchy things going on over the years, the last couple of years, that we never hear about in the news here at all.
Yeah, never.
So all that to say, you never know what's going on the streets,
Nope.
Mm.
Nope. Never know. Yeah.
But if it was important, the media would let us know, right?
So I used to, it's really funny. Like if you actually, I can do this experiment right now. Let's see. Like if you actually, tonight it's going to be all election stuff. But on any given day, if you pull up the major news networks for American media and you go to, you can see their, you can just look at the headlines and you can see like how vastly different they are. And then I usually pick up BBC, I do British, and then you can even do Al Jazeera's or Russian Times, RT, and get the spin there. It's all going to be spun in their own ways, but you can pull up like all these different. And then if you read all of it, you can start to kind of pick out the truth. It just takes a lot of time. I didn't get time for that. I'll just go on TikTok and watch someone make fun. Like, then the algorithm's going to push me towards something too. I don't know. It's whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't pay attention. I had a client lecture me in my office the other day about how I need to be watching the news more. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I did that for a while in my life, and it did not make me smarter or more aware.
No,
just more depressed.
Well, she was she was kind of a crazy right winger. I mean, like far right. She was like, you need to be going to InfoWars and going to like. I was like, no. It'd be it'd be like extreme leftists coming to me, and I'm like, no, I'll pass on that too. Yeah, not.
What's funny is I'm more interested in like the crazy tabloid stuff that is like wacko conspiracy stuff, and I'm like, that's more likely to be true than some of the other headlines. Aliens, really? Interesting.
So I saw a funny like little like short or clip or whatever reel the other day, and it was like 2014 watching Doomsday Preppers, and it was it was like man, these people are crazy. They're so crazy. And it was like 2024 watching Doomsday Preppers, like that is a really cute bunker.
Everybody either has one or is jealous of their friends.
Yeah, I wish I had a bunker that cute.
I didn't get nervous until I heard that Zuckerberg was building like a multi-million, whatever, tens of $1 million like underground bunker in Hawaii or something.
No,
which
doesn't make much sense.
I don't know if he's done enough research about what Hawaii is. Yeah. But I don't know that I'd want to be underground anywhere there. I don't know. Maybe he knows something I don't know.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Anyways. Personal life announcements. There's no announcements. There's no election going on. So thank you, 12 people, for showing up and watching us rather than watching CNN.
Yeah, come distract yourself.
Or whatever news network you're watching to watch the stuff come in, because it is what it is. I'm
sure when it's over, someone's gonna let me know.
Someone's going to win. There will be a president. And people will be upset. And
well, some people will be happy.
And some people will be happy. And some people will be upset.
Yeah, some people will be happier than they probably should be, and some people will be more upset than they probably should be.
Yeah, I still like the quote I sent you guys earlier, where this is the only thing political I'm going to say tonight, because this applies to both parties and both sides. Today feels like the whole country is waiting for an STD result to come in. We're just all waiting for did we catch it?
There was a similar one that was like, the kids waiting outside of the divorce courtroom to see if they're going home with mom or dad.
Yeah.
Oh man,
fun time. Horrible people.
Yeah.
Where are you, Prophet? Anyway. Anyways, personal life. There's an election going on. I guess the big announcement is I'm not moving. I mentioned the patrons last night. So yeah, I know all this weeks and weeks of packing and moving stuff around, had boxes and boxes. Everything's still packed. I'm still in the office, staged office. And I'm not sure how long I'm going to be in here because we're now going to renovate instead and stay. So, yeah, we're just going to renovate. So this office where I'm in right now will become the master primary bedroom or the bathroom, part of the suite. So
Sweet.
we're renovating in here. So this is going to not be the office. So I'll be moving again somewhere else. My plans eventually is to turn my shed, which is gigantic, run plumbing out there. It already has like its own electrical box, but get it fully like climate controlled, air conditioning, heat, and move that out and kind of not make it a man cave, make it a study. I don't like the word man cave because man cave seems like you're in your 20s. I'm in my 40s. I want to study.
When
Lots and lots of books.
when you get ready to do that, if you're not going to pay a contractor to do it, if it's something you want to tackle yourself, I've helped a couple friends do something about that size. It's a lot easier than you think.
It is a
Yeah.
lot easier. Yeah. So that's the idea is just do that. And
It's
then
work, but it's not hard.
I'm going to turn in my study. I'm going to run direct Ethernet out to there. Just bury a line in PVC pipe or something like that. And so that way the moles don't chew at the railroad lines or whatever. But yeah. That's all I got really going on is that I'm staying. I ain't going nowhere. And that's it for personal life, I think. What did we do last week? We went to Fall Fest at the Mariners Museum. The Mariners Museum.
Ooh.
If you ever come to Virginia, to Newport News, it is one of the main attractions here. And I say that not tongue in cheek. Like Mariners Museum
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, especially
awesome.
all the additional stuff.
If you were into like maritime history,
yeah.
it is. I think it might be the largest collection of maritime artifacts in the United States. I'm not gonna say world, but I think either that or Mystic River, Connecticut. They also have a maritime that's pretty big.
Yeah,
But,
it's pretty awesome. You could easily, if you like that sort of stuff, you could easily spend a day in there. And also, depending on who's working, they have some older gentlemen volunteers that hang out there, and they'll just like give you a rundown on stuff more so than what you could read on all the placards and whatnot. There's a couple of guys that know a lot.
And they have a vault that it's not open to the public where they have all their manuscripts that they have. And did I ever tell you my experience going in there? I got to get a tour of the vault. Yeah, it's normally you're not allowed in. But I was with some charity function and they allowed us to take a tour of it. And
Wow.
And let me tell you how cool it was. We get around a corner and they had a couple pieces pulled out for us. And we get around the corner and before we get there, they get in line or whatever, and they have white gloves for us to put on. It's like, okay, we're gonna actually let you handle this next piece, but you have to wear gloves. You have to be very, very careful with it. And I was like, okay, come around the corner. It's the handwritten ship's log from the ship that fired in Fort Sumter to start the Civil War. Handwritten, like it's here in Newport News, and like I actually got to flip through the pages and read the like what size shells they were using. Like on this day at this time, we've commenced by firing this round at Fort Sumter. Like I'm like,
wow,
holy crap! Like the start of the U.S. Civil War, like which is from a history nerd, like yeah. Like the handwritten actual log, like
that's pretty cool.
I got really excited, but that was kind of cool. So they have a lot of stuff like that. They have some correspondences from people that were on the Titanic that sent out letters, from the what was the ship that saved them. Like actually mailed letters. They did a bunch of like stuff like that. They actually had an old map that was hand drawn, pressed on whatever kind of pressed paper or whatever about some of the original drawings of the Americas when the Spanish came over. There's literally like rows and rows and rows and rows of manuscripts that are just kept under climate control, lock and seal in a vault.
That's
like
so cool.
Of all maritime type stuff, which is really cool. Anyway, so if you ever get a chance, and the monitor from the Monitor Merrimack from Civil War is actually there, like the actual monitor.
When they brought that up and started preserving
I remember we were kids when
so
they brought
cool.
it up. They brought it up and they shipped it. Yeah. And it's all preserved in special tanks, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. That was like constantly in the news.
The Carpathia.
Like,
Thank you, Belted Prophet. The Carpathia.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's cool. It's a cool little museum. The point is I went to Fall Fest there and they have lots of like local breweries. craft breweries that set up a bunch of tents and live music, and you just go around and drink a lot. And there's a petting zoo for the kids. It's like it's a fall festival. There's crafts, there's drinks, there's food, and it's a fun time. So that's what we did. That's my personal life. Yeah.
I don't know that I've had anything really exciting since the last time we recorded.
I gave you apple butter.
Oh yeah, I did make it by to Allen's. I got some apple butter. I still haven't had any yet, only because I was about to crack it open, and selfishly, my kids are here this weekend, and I was like, I don't want to share, so I'm gonna wait until they leave before I open that up.
Oh, by the way, I also found out what's wrong with my shoulder.
What was it?
You're 41.
Rotator cuff tear.
Oh.
Hopefully, I don't need surgery.
Lots of Motrin.
Lots and lots of ibuprofen and Motrin. Yeah, it's just,
you'll be okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, yeah. So I got the apple butter. Me and the boys, they've showed an interest in golfing. So we went to Played Again Sports, got a set of junior clubs for Ronin, and then for the adult size clubs, I don't want to buy super janky ones for River, but I also can't really afford to buy him like a really nice full set. So got him a nice bag, a driver, a couple of Adams Woods and hybrids, and then we're gonna look at getting an iron set for him later, and he's just using my irons now. But we got to the driving range, and I went to use his driver, and I forget which one it is. I think it's a TaylorMade something or other, but it's one I hadn't heard of before. Bro, I was ripping that thing. The wood line at this driving range is 280, and I was flying into the wood line. I haven't hit a ball like that in a very long time. So I told River that is now my driver, and we'll find him something else. Because he was shanking it. It was a stiff shaft, and he done quite swing.
Well, I mean, young ones don't know how to use that shift that.
No. He needs a little. He's probably fine with a regular flex, but yeah, it's it felt really good. I was crank.
He's young.
When I say I was hitting it so good, this driving range has a little mini golf thing behind it. And with a lot of the kids at a school today, it was funny at the mini golf place. It was all grandparents and little kids. So you could tell the parents still had to work today. And so grandparents were on babysitting duty, and they all took it to mini golf. But no joke, when I started ripping them, there was 3 different groups that the kids were like, whoa, because with these new drivers, when you catch it right, I mean, it's a sound like, I can't even imitate it, but Alan, I know you know what I'm talking about. It's a shit. Everybody's like, what? So there was a group of kids behind me when I was cranking these off. It was, I had my own little fan base there.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah. And they were like, it went in the woods. I was like, damn right, it went in the woods. Like, it says 280, it went 280. I was like, but it carried 280. It probably landed about 290 and skipped up about 315. Okay. I need to learn your math, stupid third grader.
I remember, was it 2005 U.S. Open at Pinehurst? I went to go watch that, and of course, you have a lot of amateurs that are in the U.S. Open. They qualify, they get to go to the U.S. Open, and we get there. We got tickets for Sunday, but we went to we had to pass the warm ups and stuff like that all weekend long. So we went to all the warm ups and stuff, and the first day, people are at the driving range. A lot of the amateurs are warming up and stuff like that, and they're making decent drives. And I remember Tiger came out. And you're talking about just crushing it. He only hit 5 balls, but the whole crowd was just jaws dropped. Just
the sound of a quality swing from somebody with that kind of power is nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, that was insane. But yeah, so we watched that, and then
well, Chris, you've been to a couple tournaments too, right?
Yeah, I have.
Right, that's right. I just remembered. I know a lot of golf with Alan, but so all right. So you've been around the pros smashing it.
Yes, I have been.
And I'm not saying I was doing that.
Partying, smashing it, and I wish I could play that well.
Yeah.
President's Cup is nothing but a big party, but
yeah. But still, when they get a hold of one, it's like, whoa.
Yep.
Anywho, so that's kind of what we did today and over the weekend, and it was fun.
Cool, Chris.
personal life for me was just a good amount of church this past weekend and a little bit of chilling. We've got a busy weekend coming up. My sister-in-law is getting married on Saturday, so Friday,
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday gonna be super busy.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Good guy.
Oh yeah,
Approved?
you
Chris
met
approved?
him. You guys met him. Brandon was at.
Okay. I was at the wedding.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've been together longer than Chanel and I have been. They've been together for
Okay.
almost 7 years, 8 years. So
What took him so long?
she wanted to wait.
Okay.
She wanted one of her sisters to get married first, so she didn't deal with her dad.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I find that in that situation, whenever it's the she that wants to wait, then the waiting is okay. But if it's ever he
Mhm.
that wants to wait, that causes problems.
Yeah, she was just like, I mean, she's only 30. So
Okay.
no.
These days, that's young
Middle
for
one.
marriage.
She's 26.
Oh,
Just
Man.
turned 27. So yeah, she was like, I
Okay.
want to wait a little bit long, a little bit. It's different. Like, and that's one thing I realized in Virginia. Like, we get married young, like
Mhm.
right out
One
of
for
college,
people out
right
of high
into
school.
marriage, or right out of high school, right into marriage. Out here in North Carolina in this Mecklenburg area, you're talking about like 30 being, the start of marriages.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of true. A lot of people I knew, their first marriage was pretty young.
I think. Let's see. Yeah, I was 30 when I got married to my wife. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. You guys want to talk about Golden Crane again? Oh, I guess we
sure.
didn't really talk about it. We just listened to it. We talked a little bit about it. How did Sleep on You end? For those that aren't patrons that didn't watch last night.
So Alan was excited, and we won't race to the end of the chapter. I know that's where we all want to get.
Sure.
Alan was excited for us to listen to this chapter, and I don't know, maybe I popped his bubble a little bit. I liked the ending for sure. I like the part that everybody thinks is amazing. There's a little hitch in how we got to it that I wasn't a fan of, and I did sleep on it, and I'm not as negative about it, but I still don't like it.
Yeah.
Only because Lan has been, y'all know this, one of my favorite characters. Like, got a ton of respect for the guy.
He's
So
everybody's favorite character.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to not like him. So the way in which it went down, I wasn't thrilled about, but
Yeah.
the show must go on. So
The show must go on. All right. The Golden Crane, chapter 20. So we start out with Red. He's surveying all the carnage with the maidens.
Do cranes make noises?
The cranes make noises? I'm sure they make some kind of noise.
Sorry.
That's a good question.
well, when they fly, they make noises. They're not silent like owl.
Make a crane sound, and I know what sound to make. What
In
does
my
the
mind, it's
crane
kind of like
say?
how an egret or a heron is. Yeah.
How
Oh,
does
there's
that-
whooping cranes.
Yeah, and they just go around. They're like whoop whoop whoop.
What-
There
what?
it is. There it is. You got one in the background.
That's how
Shock.
man does. Like everybody loves him. He's like, whoop, there it is. How y'all doing?
Hold on. Share.
Oh, that's not at all what I expected.
There you go. There's your crane.
Oh, the old sandhill. Yeah. I didn't know we were talking
the
about
old
the
sandhill
sandhill
crane.
cranes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's all I can't find.
They're
I can't
unique.
find a golden crane. Anyways, what's the African bird with like the giant bill that does like the clicking thing with its beak and like it's terrifying? Anyway,
You mean the
Oh
dinosaur?
no, I'm thinking of the. No, I think the one I'm thinking of is Australia, the one that's massive and kills people.
hold on.
Everything in Australia would kill you. That's why they.
I think that's why I'm thinking
The
Australia.
shoebill stork. The shoebill stork.
Okay,
Hold
the
on.
one that delivers babies.
Yeah, hold
Isn't
on.
that how
No,
it works?
these things are crazy. We're going on. Cassowaries are just they're murder
Yeah,
chickens. That's a murder chicken. We've already talked about them. This is shoebill stork. Here you go.
Oh wow, sounds like a machine gun.
Yeah, you sure somebody didn't edit that video?
No, that's sounds like a machine gun. Oh my God.
Man, I don't
Imagine
know how I
running
feel
around
about that.
them.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, right at home. That's what Newport News sounds like often enough.
I know, right?
Sounds like Newport News. The sound of gunshots at night.
I was at a friend's birthday party in Newport News the other night, and they're close to the water. They're close to where you're at, Alan. And we're out back playing cornhole, and there's
you hear
another
pop,
family
pop, pop,
there.
pop.
Yep, there was another family there, not from Newport News, and they go, "Oh, fireworks!" And me and some other people looked at each other like they don't know. And it went off again, and they were like, "Is that fireworks?" I was like, "That is not fireworks." Somebody's shooting at something.
Nope.
And they were like, "But it was a lot. It wasn't just one or two. It was a lot." I was like, "Oh, they emptied that magazine.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
all of them."
you count. If it does like 20, then you know that's probably gonna be fireworks. If it's like 8 to 16,
Right.
it's exactly like one of those nice
Right.
even numbers. It's like
Yeah.
someone just unloaded a magazine.
That was a 12 plus 1 right there. What does that mean? Don't worry about it.
A baker's dozen. Somebody was
And it's
hungry.
not always a bad thing. There might have been a street light that was buzzing and it was pissing them off, and they just shot it out. I mean,
Yep.
it could be that simple.
That's how they do down there.
Yep.
Or up there, both ways.
Yeah.
We're
It was
kind of in
just
the
funny that
middle.
the people from around there, we all just looked at each other like, and they had no clue.
Well, they have that. Newport News Police has that new thing. I guess not new anymore. That actually listens for gunshots and triangulates the position so they can.
Oh
dispatch.
shit! I didn't know that. Oh.
I'm sure that
Yeah.
system's been
Makes sure.
overloaded.
I can't remember what it's called, but like it actually has multiple listening devices throughout the city. And it'll triangulate the position of where the gunshots came from.
Oh wow!
Okay,
that's
Batman.
awesome. Yeah, for real.
Just America.
There has been no situation where the Newport News police have showed up and I was like, "Oh, yeah, we're good now. Things just got better. Don't worry, guys. Everybody's safe."
We're not
man.
as corrupt anymore.
Yeah. When I see their cars going somewhere, I go the other way, and it's not because of the crime that's happening; it's because they are there.
It just depends on the people.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I do know a couple that work for the department. They're good people, but even they will tell you, be like, "Don't answer questions. Be respectful, but get you a lawyer."
It's not as bad as Virginia Beach Police.
Make sure
though.
they can see
They're
your
worse.
hands.
Like they're known for being
they're shady.
brutal. Anyway,
Well,
You
if
said
you're
we were
gonna
going to start
Virginia
this
Beach,
chapter 10 minutes ago,
that's
and all you
Virginia
did was read the chapter title.
no, it's. I said they're going through the carnage of the Trollocs. I think.
Okay, that's right. You got one line.
Did you?
Yeah, I did say that. I said it. I said it. I said it.
Say nothing.
Mostly are coming for you. Say nothing.
Which the description of the carnage is kind of funny, and a bunch of them apparently are still twitching, not quite dead, but on their way to die.
I'm not
They're
dead
not
yet.
Grab you, trying to eat you.
Yeah, they're still finishing them off, and
Rand's like stepping on their skulls as he walks by.
Yeah, exactly. A servant then comes by and is like, "Yo, Rand, I got a letter for you," and he's like, "Psh, later. I'll read it later. Oh, I got time for Varen."
a Varen letter. Look, when we paused it during the live stream of this, because I was like, "Oh shit, Varen is a dark friend." It's a letter that just says, "Gotcha, bitch," and she went running out of there and dipped on him. Jumping ahead, we know now that wasn't quite it, but
it wasn't.
She's still no. Well, we'll get to it, but Rand is not quite pleased in how sketchy she is about it, though. She, like everybody else, is like, "Oh yeah, I'm following you 100%, but I got some shit to do. I'm a dip."
Yeah, she's just.
So she could be shady because we don't know for sure what she's doing.
Well, I mean, so also before we get there, Luz is definitely yelling, screaming in Rand's head the entire time too, just being Luz. Lose clues, as Delusions of Grindel calls them, as being Luzy.
I mean, he's becoming more and more of a person, though.
More aware,
sentient. Yeah.
Actually grasping what is going on.
Trying to figure out how to get out of the box, whatever that means. Kind of reminds me of Rand being in the black box.
I'm trying to figure out how to get back in the box somewhere, somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, we get to that next chapter. The box. But yeah, so we get to the letter. I can read the letter to you. As I said, I have done what I can here. I believe that I can fulfill my oath better elsewhere. So I've taken Thomas and we've gone to be about it. There are many ways to serve you, after all, and many needs. I am convinced that you can trust Catswain, and you certainly should heed her advice. But be wary of other sisters, including ones who have sworn fealty to you. Such an oath means nothing to a black sister, and even those who walk in the light may interpret it in ways you would disapprove of. You already know that few see the oath as invoking absolute obedience in all things. Some may find other holes. So whether so whether or not you follow Cat's advice, I repeat that you should. I repeat that you should follow mine. Be very wary. Signed, Finn.
What does Varen know about Catswain to know she could be trusted?
Don't do that. We don't know this yet, but we know where you're going with this.
No, I don't want to say the dark friend thing. I know I keep saying that. I do like Catswain. I've tried to paint her in a watch out for her light, but I don't know. I don't know. Because Varen she seemed to be one that's been kind of weary of people, even people she's in cahoots with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know that she was super buddy with Moraine.
I was about to say she was friends with Moraine, even though we know she's a dark friend.
Friendly to Moraine.
Moraine's a dark friend?
Varen.
No, Varen's a dark friend.
Why is Varen a dark friend?
Oh, that would be crazy if Moraine was a dark friend.
Why is Varen a dark friend? I don't remember your theory on this. I'm being serious.
I don't remember my theory either.
Okay.
I think I've just been calling her a dark friend.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't be suspicious.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was during our phase or the phase when every new character came in. We were like, dark friend, dark friend, dark friend,
dark friend, dark friend. I mean, I'm a dark friend.
That and Varen pieced together what was going on about the Dragon Reborn almost like immediately.
She's brown.
Well, sure. We had to learn a little bit more about Brown's skills, but early on it was like, how they kept this secret from everybody? And she looks around a little bit and goes, all right, so this Dragon Reborn thing, let's talk. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me, but we need to talk.
Sure. She's not a dark friend, but she's still sketchy.
Still sketch.
She's about her own business.
She's still.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Sorry, that's Varen in her water.
Yeah, hard not to be. But anyways, for her to be that sold on Catswain, so sold that she's telling the Dragon Reborn, be like, if you trust nobody else, trust this woman, and I gotta leave. Like, I'm leaving you in her hands. Trust her. That's a big cosign. That's not small. That's big.
Yeah.
So, anywho.
Yeah. So after the letter, he hands the letter over to Catswain, and she kind of looks at it and goes, "Huh, yeah, trust me. Cool, I agree." Then Loyal and Hammond come in, and Rand's like, "I am so sorry. I'm gonna miss your wedding." He's like, "Oh yeah, I already got married."
What wedding? I'm already married.
Already married. That
Yeah,
already
we
happened.
did the
And Rand's just,
Awkward.
Rand, we just finished consummating the marriage.
Did you see us wiggle our ears?
Do you want to be a godfather?
Yeah. And Rand's like, "Yeah, I'm glad you're married and everything like that, but I got some jobs for you, so good luck in being married. But I need you to go to all these places because I got way gates I need to do." And he's going on and on. He's like, "Rand, I'm kind of busy, dude. Did you not read the room? I just got married, dude. Like,
He's like, don't worry, I'll talk to your mom about it." He's like, "My mom? Why would you talk to my mom?"
She don't make those decisions for me
My
anymore.
wife makes decisions now." And Elder Hammond's there, like, "Yes, what about the stump?" His Rand's like,
funny how quick that changed. Not even a day in.
"Yeah,
And he's like, "Yeah, my mom doesn't make those decisions. My wife does."
yeah,
Yeah.
Such
she
easy life.
handles that."
Great. Well, I think it was Loyal actually that started to spill the beans about where he was going and what he had to do.
Right.
And he got the stink eye from Elder Hammond.
Right.
And that's when Loyal was like, "Oh wait, I got stuff.
Well,
Things.
Rand's like, I can bring you there to the stump right away, and then we can get back to what I'm doing. And it's like, we're not hasty. We take our time to make decisions. Like, I'll go talk to the stump. Because humans aren't exactly allowed even in the stadium during the stump. So I don't know. Like,
Yeah, he won't be going anywhere near.
Rand's just like, hey, listen, I'm your boss. Time's money. Time is money. We
Yeah,
got to get this show
Take
on
the
the
time
road.
you need,
Like,
but then I still need you to do it.
and he's just over there doing the whole Judy, Judge Judy.
Yeah.
We gotta get this stuff done. Yeah, so good times.
But I mean, I thought it was pretty cool that Elder Hammond kind of stood up and, well, from a logical standpoint, was like, Loyal really needs to go back to his steading. He's been gone for a really long time, and he
Yeah,
needs to be there
5
not
years.
just like a day. He needs to be there for a while.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, outside of him, I'm kind of the most qualified to do what you need done. So I guess it's me. And he just signs up for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he
Oh,
holds a little bit more weight because he's older. He's got a beard and a mustache.
right. So,
You don't
and then
know
let's
what
not
the
skip
bearded
over this
man-
part. This was huge when we were listening to it. There was a part where, well, right after this, now they've decided they're going separate ways, and Loyal is like, Elder Hammond, I need you there because this, that, and the other. I'm a little nervous, da da da. And old LD Ham, he looks at him and is like, bro, you got this. You
Yeah,
do a
you're
far better
good.
job than me. Like,
Mhm.
He said,
this is your
he
time.
said no. It was like a backhanded compliment. Like, stay
Yeah.
simple. Your simple words touched me, and it made a lot of sense. Just be your simple self and use your
Yeah.
simple words.
Yep.
Yeah,
But it was kind of like we were talking in the moment. It's like that the mentor kind of, hey, there's nothing else you can get from me. Now's your time.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're ready for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought it was a big moment. Yeah, I think Loyal took it as a big moment and a
He
big
did.
compliment.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
He was happy.
I mean, he's your roommate. You would know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's sensitive.
He is. But he's a nice guy.
He's
What are you
awesome.
gonna do now that he's married? Are you gonna find a new roommate?
Yeah.
Well, I told him that the rent will go up a little bit, and he wasn't too pleased because they're just taking up the same amount of space. I was like, yeah, but that's not how the economy works. You got 2 people in here, rent goes up. So we got to work that out.
Yeah. Figure it out. At this point, Bashir shows up. And he's like, yeah, the Daughter Died Moons has agreed to meet with you.
Since when?
Yeah, apparently. She's gonna bring
He's
like, and he's
been
like,
working behind the scenes.
yeah, he's like, yeah, I made arrangements, so we're gonna go down and meet with her. And
Part of me
and
thinks it is the real Daughter of the Nine Moons. It is our girl, and she is working things out behind the scenes.
with
How
Matt?
she's communicating, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, with Matt. Like, how far
Okay.
away are they?
Mhm.
Weren't they heading like in the direction of Camelin? Or what was the next
See,
big town they were heading to?
Where they're with Vale and Luca, right? Or is that parent? No, they're with
They were
Vale and
they
Luca.
were just getting ready to break off from him and go on their own, though,
No,
right?
they're down. So, like they were Ibudar, I think. Weren't they?
Yeah.
Lugard, Marendi.
Lugard, yeah.
Yeah, they're in that area. I think they're heading up towards Camelin.
So how
Well-
far of travel are they actually?
I mean, it's pretty close. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, but they're
Well, plus Rand, as long as they know where they're at, Rand can travel. So maybe Bashir traveled to get this info.
yeah,
But
it's-
I threw out there, all right, so we know the Daughter of the Nine Moons that Matt is with. We found out that they're looking for her. Other Shan-Chan are looking for her,
right.
but don't know exactly where she is. But also, we know that the family business is to off one another. And Matt's girl is thinking that, it's one of her remaining siblings or something that's coming after her, blah, 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 blah. So I'm thinking, what if the Daughter of the Nine Moons that Rand meets up with is not the same one that Matt is with? So Rand forms this alliance there, but then Matt has his alliance going on, and then things get super sketchy from there.
Yeah, I don't even know where they are at this point. Like, now that you bring it up, I don't know where Will got married.
Oh, where Rand and them are?
Yeah.
They're not in Tyr yet.
Is anybody in chat? I'm gonna look it up, but while I'm doing that, someone in chat might know. No one in chat's. I can find out. Hold on. I'm finding out. Here we go. We're gonna go forward in time. All right. Still book 1. All right. Now we're book 2, book 3. All right. That's Fall May. Sorry, I'm just clicking through all the events.
Are they currently in tier? I know they
No,
end
they
up in
they end
tier,
up in tier. Yes, they end up in tier.
but where did Loyal get married?
That's what I'm looking for.
I was gonna say, just Google that.
I don't know if it's okay. I guess I could Google it.
I'm not going to because
yeah, you shouldn't Google that.
crazy stuff comes
Is
up.
anybody in chat said anything as I'm clicking through a million different things?
Well, somebody said Rand and Team are in tier.
But that's later. They are later.
I thought that's where they were gonna go next.
What? They go to tier?
Just over down yonder over there. Yeah.
Hold
They're
on,
a
I'm
hop,
getting
skip, and a jump from tier.
I'm getting really close. Because I'm at the end of book 9.
Algorian's Manor.
Oh, wait, the Golden Crane. Yeah, so they are. Hold on, the Algorian's Manor, which is I'm trying to figure out what country it's in. It is in. Hold on, Golden Crane.
It's close to tier. That's what we're getting
Okay,
at.
it is at the Manor House, wherever this is.
Algorian.
Hold on.
I trust Wadaholic.
Well, I know that, but I'm trying to figure out like what part of the world that's in.
Not whose person's house he was married at.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's near Stedding Shingtai by far, a little bit over by not quite far Matting, but like I guess north of tier. It's north of tier, not quite tier.
Yeah.
I think.
Wadaholic is
So they're
saying
close enough in
Algorian is a lord
proximity.
of tier.
They're close enough in proximity where they could actually be
It could
communicating.
still be the same.
Yeah.
My theory is still that they're going to be talking to two different people, because that would be funny. A good storyline can come from that.
Anyway, he's the Lord of Tyr. Yeah, we got that. The hinterlands of Tyr. Yeah, so they're just north of Tyr. In Haddon Merk, I think, around there. Anyway. So north of the country Tyr, in the north of the city of Tyr, in the country of Tyr. So so Bashir also tells him that she's bringing 6 Soldom and Damani with him, and Olivia's just like, dang good. But Rand can bring 5 people that can channel, and only 1 person that can't. So 6 people 2, 5 that can channel, and 1. Okay, so fun times.
Min wants to go.
Yeah, she says she does, but Rand's like, no. Absolutely not.
He puts his foot.
By the way, this whiskey is delicious.
He's got bland.
Mm.
He's got the good stuff.
Mm.
By the way, we're not sponsored by you yet, but Blanton's, if you'd like to sponsor us, we'll drink your alcohol.
We will drink a lot of it. If you want to send us free bottles of blends, if anybody from Kentucky, Gramps, I know you're from Kentucky, work your magic.
Yeah.
Work your magic. Find us some blends. Good deal. So that's pretty sure in this chapter. Or no, in this section.
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot in this chapter. Sorry. In this section, first was Nynaeve. Whoa. Yeah, we're not into the Golden Crane part yet. Man, Bland's hitting me hard. So anything from all that before we switch to Nynaeve and Lan?
Nope.
Okay.
Bashir put a little emphasis, when he walked up and he was looking at the carnage, there was a little emphasis again on the grand scale of what happened. Of all the battles he's seen along the Blight border. It's been teeny skirmishes, but nothing like this. Like, this was just absurd to him, and he lost some of his people here. So
it shows you how calculated and well planned it was.
Yeah, there's a line about
massive.
that. There's a line about that too, because Rand goes and visits the barn where
Yeah.
there's 19 Shienaran soldiers that are dead, and that's all they
Right.
lost is 19, and they killed tens of thousands. So definitely upside, but he still wants to remember that we still lost something. Like,
Yeah, even in your most decisive victories are still loss.
Yeah.
And a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
On to your favorite part.
not yet. This is Ian's favorite part. So, Nynaeve. We're
Let's
still
not-
there. We're still at the
Ian's
manor
favorite
house. There's Nynaeve and Lan. They're inside. She wants to go outside, but he won't let her because he's staring out there, and they're kind of talking about things, and all the Trolloc bodies are being burned. Lan's kind of frustrated with Rand about focusing so much on the Shanshan and not the Borderlands. He's like, the fight will be in the Borderlands. Like, we need to go up there, like up north. Why is he so focused on the Shanshan south? It doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
every major attack has always come through the gap.
Right,
every
through
single
Tara's
one.
Gap. Right.
We've been standing there forever and a day defending this entire world. Like, someone's got to be there.
Yeah. And this is the part that Ian loves so much. So as they're having the conversation, there's a couple giggities here and there, but then Nynaeve's like, I make you make a promise, actually an oath. You're gonna make an oath to me. 2 parts to it. One, that you will ride for Fall Moran and enter the Blight through Tyrant's Gap. And 2, that anyone who wants to ride with you, that you will lead them through Tyrant's Gap. And Ryan's like, I don't lead well. It's like, oh, bull crap. I've seen you lead people. I'm like, you lead people. He's like, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and then let's be honest, he's been fighting this calling of his his whole life. And for good reason. It seemed like, he's the last king. He's supposed to lead his people, but the place was, overwhelmed by the blight. There's just a few of them scattered all around. He's like, whatever. It's never going to happen.
And Lan makes a joke like, yeah, you made me make these 2 oaths because he agrees to them. Then she's like, then he thinks about it. It's like, you're just going to leave me south in Shannara, aren't you? Which is right next to Tyrant's Gap, just south, as far south as you can get me. And she doesn't say anything. She's like, I'm not going to lie to him. I'm not going to say anything. Because I'm trying to practice being an Aes Sedai, not lie. And she opens the gateway and they step through and they're all the way on the other side of the continent in Saldea at World's End. And she's
at
like,
the far end. He has to go pretty much all the way across every blight border town.
Yeah. All the way across.
Like, you will have people, they will come to your banner because you're going to start.
You're going to start the furthest way possible. And he's made an oath that he is going to ride for Tyrant Scout no matter where she drops him. He's thinking as far as possible within the same country. No, she dropped him on, like he has to go right through Maine to get to the Blight, that part of Canada or that part of the Blight, and just dropped off in Seattle. It was like,
right.
Yeah.
So for those of y'all that didn't listen to the live read, here's my problem. I love Land. I have a ton of respect for him. I like everything that Jordan has done to build up his character and everything. Even with all the struggles and the heartache and the losing Moraine and everything, and he's been to some dark places. I love everything about the way Jordan has written him. I don't like that in the beginning of what probably will become his greatest moment, his rise to becoming what he's supposed to have been his entire life. Instead of Nynaeve just having that knockout, drag out, difficult conversation, whatever, and bringing him to his senses and convincing him this is what he needs to do, instead of having enough respect to do that, he uses Nynaeve. When I say Jordan uses Nynaeve as like just a tool to manipulate him into this. So I don't like the methods. I wish Jordan would have written this differently because it definitely takes away from the Land character. I don't think he needed to be lied to or handled like this in order to do this. And it says a little something about Nynaeve too. Like, how are you gonna all right, if you haven't figured this out, like my personal life is coming out in this. I'm not gonna get into those details, but
emotional damage.
Yeah. How's Nynaeve in this relationship where she's so in love with this person that she supposedly respects and and she feels like, all right, in order to get him to do what I think he needs to do, I'm going to lie to him, I'm going to manipulate him, I'm going to set him up. Like, you don't fucking do that. You know,
Is
I
it just
don't
because
like it.
Nynaeve's doing it, or what if Bella did it? Would it be the same?
You know why it's not the same? Because Bella wouldn't do that, and you know it. Bella would look at him with those googly Bella eyes. She would,
Yeah. Like,
and he'd
okay,
go, "You know what, Bella? You're right. It's time. I need
you're right.
to.
Dude,
I need to do this." And then she'd be like, "Let's ride," and he'll be like, "No,
But do you think Lan would agree to start on the other side of the world and gather an army all the way across the borderlands?
I do believe Nynaeve could have convinced him of that
Yeah.
if she had the balls to have the conversation. Because
Okay.
if he truly, he would, all right, his heart's passion, he knows he has to go there to fight. He knows the fight is going to be there at the Gap. And he's got to know that if he goes by himself or just goes to join the few people that are left up there, that they're just going to get run over. Right?
Yeah.
There was an opportunity.
And so it said, especially after he just complained about Rand wasting time.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have been an easy 30-minute fight. It might have taken a day or two. It would have been tough. But if Nynaeve actually cared about him and respected him, she would have had the conversation.
Yeah. Amis says, Ian, I agree. Lan spent his whole life being led, feeling homeless. I would say Raffo on this.
Ooh. I like
Yeah.
Duty's
that.
heavier than mountain.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he has all of the building blocks that you need to be able to, convince a person using logic and reason and whatever, and a little bit of passion. He has all those building blocks already in him. He puts duty above all else.
And
His
what Hug
trouble.
says, it doesn't diminish Lan, only Nynaeve. Or did she simply just know him?
I think it takes away. I think it at least took away an opportunity for Lan to have come to this on his own.
Okay.
With some convincing, sure, but it still takes a little bit away from Lan. It doesn't make Lan less, but it definitely took away an opportunity for him to take that step on his own. And it definitely, I think this is one of those areas where Nynaeve gets knocked down a peg or two in my book. I don't like it.
I mean,
Because no matter, I'll tell you what, if I was in a relationship with her, if I was Lan and Nynaeve was Nynaeve, after this, even, it doesn't matter the outcome now going forward. And even if it was the right decision and I have this massive army and it's the reason that the battle is won, when we finally link up and she goes to run and hug me, I would go, stop. Go hug yourself. We're done. I can never trust you again.
Yeah.
If on something like that, you would treat me that way. No.
Communication is key in relationships.
Yep.
But this is also Robert Jordan's kind of bag, is to write really, really dysfunctional relationships that work like this. This is kind of his. This is kind of his shtick. His shtick.
That'll work out in the end.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So I feel like if Nynaeve hadn't done this, Lan may have just walked to Targaryen by himself without the numbers and just get himself killed. Yeah.
Even if that's the case, that's Lan's choice to make. Even if it's a bad one.
Sure. So after Lan gets left in Saldea at World's End, we then switch to some random guy named Wellen Aldragarin, who's a random merchant. And both you guys last night paused me like, wait, are just this guy? Like, no, you're not. It's just some random.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because the characters back and forth were building him up to be somebody, and we were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What'd I miss?
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a random merchant in a random little tavern at a like a little town close to World's End, but it's in Saldea, but it's not all the way to World's End. You can still, I think, see some coastline, some of that, but it's pretty close. And he's in the process of selling jewels. He doesn't like to do the ice pepper trade. He wants to sell jewels. So he's got some stuff out. He has a couple of people with him that are also. He also says he wears the Hadori, so he's Malkiri by birth, even though his other two companions are as well, but they don't wear. They never accept the Hadori, so they're that's what it is. And after he's finished, he's interrupted by a woman that comes in. He looks up, and the first thing he notices is all the jewelry, and then he looks up and sees she has a Kai sign, which is the mark of a married woman to a Malkiri. He's like, but she's not Malkiri. She's not even Borderland in her accent. It's not right. I don't know
Then
who this is.
then he sees a serpent ring, and he's
Then
like,
he sees
"Oh
a serpent ring.
shit!"
He's like, "Oh shit, it's Aes Sedai." And he looks at her face like she's young Aes Sedai. And then he's like, and then Nynaeve starts talking. It's Nynaeve, and she's like, "So I hear you're a guy that has lots of pigeons." He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "I need you to send all your pigeons out." He's like, "What?"
To
Like,
every merchant
to
everywhere.
every merchant that you know, and I need you to send a message for me. And he's like, "That would be like something." Like in his head, he's like, "I mean, I'll do it," but like he's trying to him and haw a bit about it. I think he's trying to negotiate. He's a merchant. He's trying to figure out, an angle. And then she pulls out the ring, and she's like, "Do you recognize this with the crane on it?" And his eyes get wide. He's like,
How'd
"Where?
you get that?
How did you get that?" And then that's when she goes with the famous quote, "My name is Nynaeve Almera Mandragoran. My husband rides from World End to Tarwin's Gap to Tarmogoyf. Will he ride alone?" And the merchant's taken aback. He's like, "Malkir's dead. I don't know what you're talking about." And she comes back and says, "My husband once told me that as long as one person, still wears the Hidori, and one woman who wears a Kassan still pledges their sons to fight the Shadow, Malkir still lives." And the merchant finds himself laughing, but then stands up and says, "The Golden Crane flies." And then the two guys he's with, he turns to them before he can even finish. They stand up.
He's like, "Do you remember your oaths, boys?" And they're like,
"Do you
"Fuck yeah."
remember your?" I says, "Do you remember your blood?" And they stand up and they're just chanting, "The Golden Crane flies for Tarmogoyf. The Golden Crane flies for Tarmogoyf."
Now let me tell you, I wish I could zoom in and show you. Despite all of my issues with how we got here, so this is a +10 in Nynaeve's book, in which he's doing it to get him the support that he needs. Right? I've got, even with you reading this again, I've got goosebumps from it.
Yeah.
It's good. I don't
Yeah.
want to take away from that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a great little scene. Who has
Great little
tears?
scene. It's
who-
pretty badass.
Who has tears now?
Yeah.
I think it's going to look really good when it's in live action. Like, yes, we got the emphasis from the book, but I think it's going to be a little bit more meaningful for me then.
Yeah.
And like when it came to this chapter, outside of the fact that I was clearly drained last night, I did go back and listen to parts, and this is definitely an iconic moment.
It is iconic. Yeah,
we are seeing Lan being pushed towards what he's meant to be. Now, Lan is one of those characters that I always hope would be built up to more than what he is, especially having a troubled background and then reading the little prequel and kind of seeing him take charge there. And with all of that information, again, like, Lan is the man. He is somebody that I thoroughly enjoy. So
yeah,
having him take charge, but then also that means Nynaeve goes from being like abandoned daughter to Queen of Malkir.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's also huge for her too.
Oh yeah.
And she pushed him in a direction for multiple reasons. She's getting him away from Rand, giving some distance, creating an army to help out with Tarmogoyf. Like, she's got her motives.
But she
And
steps into that role, that queen role.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, 100%.
I think that's
She's
why
doing
I
what
said I
Lan
don't
wouldn't
want to
do.
take away from this, because what
Yeah.
she's doing here is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. It was shitty to kind of play that trick on Lamb, but he would never have brought himself to do it.
You go and do the shitty stuff, and then you totally redeem yourself.
I'm more mad at
Right.
Jordan,
Go
I
ahead,
think,
Donner.
than I am
Yeah.
Nynaeve.
Okay.
I think Jordan could have done this differently. That's
Yeah.
all.
But yeah. Will he ride alone? That's such a great line.
I mean, I want to get on my fucking horse and go catch up to him.
Go get to the land.
Right? Am I alone in that? Am I like, fuck no, he's not going to be alone. I don't care if it's just him and +1. He's got at least +1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, so, and maybe this is, and definitely the next chapter echoes this as well, and maybe you'll see this as too. But and this, I don't think this is spoilery, but I feel like a reason why this is so iconic as well is before like talking about Tarmogoyf and all that has been like kind of in passing before this, and this is like
And it's so far away.
it's so far away, but this is the moment like where it's like everything from here on is we're marching
Mm-hmm.
towards like it's definitely an iconic part of this book. Like
Right.
it's even in the next chapter,
The
Rand's going
battle's
on, like,
beginning now.
yeah. It's
Rand has been
Yeah.
plotting a little bit and trying to plan stuff and move pieces, but like
Yeah.
it's everybody gets it now. It's
mhm.
we're not talking about eventually in 20 years. We're talking about get ready
Right.
now.
Yeah. It's happening. Tarmogoyf's on his way.
I mean, if it wasn't the previous chapters of even the Ogier going, so these are our battle implements. I know they're farming implements, but we've crafted them for battle. Like then it should have clicked in our mind, like, wait, they're ready to throw down and or leave.
Mhm.
It's now.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Yeah.
This will all be over in one book, right? This is the last book.
It's about to get real like that one. This is the last book? No. This is the last Jordan book. They have 3 more Brandon Sanderson books of this. But yeah.
Exciting.
But just to give you some little foreshadowing for the Brandon Sanderson books, a lot of the scenes in those books were written by Robert Jordan still. So he had full access to his notes. So entire parts. There is a lot of in between that's filled in by Brandon Sanderson. But there's like some people, it's interesting, like if you go on like the blogs and people that don't do the research and they'll complain about parts and they'll be like, why did Sanderson do this? And like that's literally taken word for word from Robert Jordan's notes. Like Robert Jordan wrote that scene, not Brandon Sanderson. So it's funny. Yeah. Robert Jordan had planned just one more book. Yes, he had planned one more book. And then when Brandon Sanderson got all the notes, he said, there's no effing way this can be in one book.
And thank him for that.
Yeah. So and he talks about that. When we get to that book, there's a prologue where it's like an excerpt from Brandon Sanderson talking about just that, like when he determined to write more than one. Let's go on to chapter 21, unless there's anything else from this chapter that you want to talk about. From 20. Okay. Chapter 21, Within the Stone.
When I saw the length of time on this chapter, I was like, that's an hour.
It's a bit
Another
much.
hour.
That's another hour.
Another one.
And Ian's like,
this is not
quick.
This is not our longest episode as far as word count that we've done.
Well, and except for our jabbering, it won't be a long episode for content.
Virginia just went blue.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
What's happened?
Virginia just went blue.
Just ticked over.
It ticked over? Did they finally announce it?
68% of the
they finally announced it?
It was pretty close for a while.
Yeah. But they haven't announced it yet.
No, it's not announced, but it did go back to blue. It's been red for the last hour.
You're watching the presidential race as we're doing this.
So I've got it in the TV above me muted also.
Okay. I do have it in a tab. I've been clicking back and forth.
Just be honest.
Don't think we're gonna do anything tonight. We might not even know tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it's just worth watching and being cognizant of.
Yeah, you gotta be aware.
Yeah.
Gotta be aware. Pennsylvania went red. It was blue earlier. Interesting.
Okay. Rand, Catsaway, Min, Nynaeve, and the maidens are all guarding Tyr. Oh, we didn't mention that too. That was one thing Nynaeve said too. I was like, I gotta stop at several towns to be at Tyr tonight. And
the merchant was like several towns in Tyr in one night.
One night.
That's some Aes Sedai bullshit right there.
Back to our map. She's in Saldea, which is up here. Tyr is all the way down here.
Yeah.
So, like, imagine this being like, because it's about the same size as the United States. That Rob Jordan has confirmed that. So she's like right next to Seattle and has to get down in like New Orleans the same day.
Yeah.
like without planes or anything like that. Of course, she has gateways. They don't know that.
I mean,
what kind of witchcraft are you into?
but we do have trains now.
We have steam. Yeah. Yes. We have was a steam wagon is what they call it.
Yes,
Yeah.
steam wagons. I thought that was super cool. I like trains.
Yeah.
And it made Luz giggle. He was like,
It did.
What you don't know. He even started talking about taxes and politics. I was like, whoop, that's a little too
Yeah.
close
Yep.
tonight.
So
nothing,
in
bro.
in
It's just
Luz's
an
time, they had like flying cars, Joe cars, and a bunch of other stuff. Like they had mentioned that at some
Mhm.
point. But it was very technology filled cities. So like trains, really?
Yeah, and Lou starts
Technology
talking
went way
about
back.
creating jobs for people using tax money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well,
anyway,
that'll
they
work for him. He's a madman
Yeah.
in somebody else's head now. Oh.
Yeah, so Rand and all them arrive in Tyr after they were refused entrance in the steading Shanghai. They get to
Oh, he
Tyr
did
and there's
keep Loyal there, so we know where
Yeah.
Loyal is, and we know he tried to get in,
right.
but Loyal was
No,
right.
bro.
Yeah.
And they can't
Um,
like use powers in there, so they couldn't even force their way in if they wanted to.
no, they can't. E-power doesn't work there. Let's see. Then there's no guards in the guardhouse. They eventually make their way, I guess, to a little inn. Rand sees the steam wagon, talks to them about that, but they don't go directly to the stone. I mean, they talk about the stone. There's a lot of description, how it's the oldest structure since the.
Well,
since
this
the
area was
breaking of the
super
world.
sad too
And it's
because I want to like highlight the sadness of everything going on. Everywhere Min looks, she sees death.
Yeah.
Or at least he's assuming she's seeing death because he can feel the tension in the bond and he can see her eyes and he learns about the steam wagons from two little boys that were gone. So like they were just
hmm
skin and bones. And so he throws them some gold coins and Min looks their way and she's like, and he's like, well, maybe she's wrong. She was wrong about Moraine. So maybe she can be wrong about their death too. Little does you know, she wasn't wrong about Moraine. Moraine is still there.
Right.
That's really why I want to talk about this because Moraine is still there.
Yeah.
She's coming back.
I'm back.
She is.
hmm
That was
Yeah.
confirmation. Did you hear that, Ian?
yeah.
You went
Oh, yeah.
Rand. I just realized your name, Kuma for Rand 2024. We're gonna get Rand. Rand lose is the ticket. It's one person, but two in one. It's two in one.
I'll take lose. all
Lose
day.
for vice president with this crazy rambling. So yeah, it's anyway. So yeah, so get steam wagons, get all that stuff. They continue on. There's a bunch of strange incidents going on. Rand turns his attention to the stone. They talk about how heavily guarded it is and how no one in thousands of years has ever been able to take the
Ways of
stone.
chance with balance because a lot of good things were happening that he could see, but he knew for every one good thing that was happening, something negative was happening too. So
Yeah, that's the way it works.
it is.
Because Taviran.
Yeah, Luthen said, I am Taviran. Of course this is happening. And he's
Yeah.
like, no, you're dead. I'm Taviran. He's like, oh, the crazy mind, the crazy voice is in my head again. Why do I have this crazy voice in my head? What might be crazier though is maybe like because we're not real, like time is not perfect. Maybe Luz is on one side and Rand's on the other side, and they're talking to each other.
Yeah.
In
And
Lou's time,
mid
part of why he
film?
went crazy is because Rand was in his head.
Yeah,
He just said that at one point. He's like, "Who's this crazy man in my head?" Like Luce says that. Like,
yeah.
They're in
He
each
says
other's
that,
head.
right?
How do we, I'm about to say why we don't know. Maybe the timelines are doing this and they're in each other's head. And like because Luz talks about being in a black box, maybe Luz is trapped.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, you know, I mean, I feel like we don't have enough books for that to be the thing, but
Right.
no, that could be a thing. I like that.
Yep. And yeah,
it's the
interesting.
multiverse.
Sure. So they get to this inn, the rooms are all taken. Rand's kind of like getting pissed off about it, and Catsman's like, I'll handle this. And she's like, shows her face, and she's like,
Takes
shows
off
her ring.
towel, just
She takes her ring, and she's like, so we got problems here? He's like, no,
No,
Mrs.
ma'am.
No, ma'am. Yeah, we'll get a room for you right away. Yeah, definitely. It's like, there you go. that's how you handle things. Yeah, pushing back her head. They get a room right away, kick someone out. He didn't even have time to get socks. That's how fast they moved him out.
Mm.
So, yeah. And then at this point, I guess they decide to go to the palace, right?
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
that was always the plan. They were
Right.
going in so that they could have a private space to then.
And also, so Rankin gets Alana. I mean, he wants to talk. He wants to talk to her.
Wait,
You know that.
pause. Did you put up Aussie's comment,
Which one's that?
the most recent one? They are each other's taint. Where's that voice coming from? Your taint. That's a great way to think of it.
Anyways, so yeah, Rand weaves a gateway. They go into the heart of the stone, but amongst all the columns, they're spotted by a guard, and the guard didn't recognize Rand. Like, you returned. He's like, yeah, I'm here to do things. And like, oh yeah, we're actually meeting with people because we're about to crown our king. And Rand's like, what the f? Like, I left you guys for like 5 minutes, and you guys are crowning a king. Like, I left a steward in charge. Like, what the hell's going on here? And Catwayne's like, that's one.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what she was doing until she got to 3.
Yeah. That's one. Rand doesn't even realize. He's like, why are you counting? Anyway, back to what I'm saying. You're an idiot. That's 2.
He's like,
it makes me laugh. Like,
what?
Because after going back and rereading this, after you know what's coming, it's hilarious.
Oh, I knew right away. The minute she started counting, I was like, 1 the belt.
Yep.
2 the belt. Because that's something my stepdad used to do. It was so traumatic. He goes,
that's 2.
Get your ass on. Like, what? Boy, you hurt? Huh? 1 the belt. Oh, shit. 2 the belt. If you got the 3 the belt, he was taking that bad boy off. And I don't care where you went, if you did what you were supposed to do, if you jumped out a window, 3 the belt was coming for you.
The belt's coming.
I had a traumatic response to that countdown.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So the countdown's happening. Weirman's there too, and he's being just a kiss ass. That's what Weirman does. Try to think, but it eventually gets the 3. Rand gets spanked by the 1 power.
Yeah.
He gets
this
like,
is after he goes off because they mention the fact that all the not royal people, but the people of status are all pouring back into Tyrion. He's like, why? I told them to go elsewhere.
I exiled and stripped their titles.
Yeah.
Like, they're peasants now.
And then what's her name was like, no, hold on. You told me to make a deal, and I made a deal, and they're coming back, and they're getting their titles back.
Right. Yeah. Rand was like, that person came back and said, like, you said this and this needs to be done in no other conditions.
Yeah.
So I did those 2 things. And then I did all the rest of the stuff because you never told me otherwise.
And we have King Darlin now. Like, we trust him. We like him.
Yeah.
So
yep.
Darlin's like,
Catwayne does set him straight. She gives him good advice after the ass whoop, and she was like, you made a deal.
Yep.
You gave your word.
You stick to the deal.
You can't undo it now, or people won't trust you. Period.
And Luz goes, damn straight.
Yep.
Luz is a Catwayne
Luz
fan.
co-signs on Catwayne.
100%.
Yep.
They probably talk at night when Rand asleep.
Yeah.
She's looking out for him. You know, Catwayne, she's taking care of him.
She is.
You may not like her methods. I like her methods.
It's a true lesson. Like, if you're going to tell someone, you stick to it. I tell my kids that all the time. Like, a lot of times, like, you know, if I tell you there's going to be a consequence for something you do and you do it, there's no negotiation.
Yeah, you have to have the consequence, or else you don't learn.
Yeah. So, like, it might be timeout, but, like, you know, hey, if you do this, you're going to get timeout. You do it. All right. Just in timeout. But no. You done messed up. Yeah, stick to your word. And that goes not just for punishment, but also for granting things you don't take back. No takebacks.
Yep.
If you make promises, you make vows, or you make agreements. If you start to, then no one's going to trust you.
Yep.
And that's true.
I like that. A good woman is hard to find. A hard woman is
It's
good.
good to find.
According to Catswain.
I always vote for King Darlin and Queen Caroline. There you go, Zool.
Which I was just about to say, Darlin's like, no,
Caroline.
if I'm gonna do this, you
Yeah.
gotta do this with me. She's like, let's wait to see how the crown looks on your head. If it looks good, then we can do this thing. And Min's like, I got an idea. I know how I should look. She's been waiting to get that out of her mind for forever.
Yeah. Yep. Then Darlin turns to Caroline's like, yeah, so would you like to marry King now? Now that I'm king? Hey. How you doing?
No,
He's
you
like,
want that
I
woman
have
that was
no
with you when you were a
ambition towards
peasant, helping you
politics.
build.
Politics. What'd you say?
She says, I have no ambition towards politics, but if the crown is shiny,
Yeah.
I'll take you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a keeper.
Yeah. Yeah. And Caroline says he should have Min's crown made. Anyway, they do they get a little couple jokes back and forth. They get a little snarky with things. And then Rand tells Darlin that as soon as he's king, he should go to Shanshan, the Shanshan, and arrest all of them. Arrest all the Shanshan in the city. And then organize a fighting force to go take back Erdogan. And of course Mirman's like, I'll fight him. What do you want me to do? I'll fight. It's like, I didn't talk to you. Like, simmer down there, buddy. Simmer down. And they're like, why are we going to go back there? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And Rand's like, we're trying to prepare for Targaryen, by the way, because that shit's coming. So
Real deal.
Need you guys to kind of shape up and get your shit together, because it's a coming. The storms are coming. And got to get your shit ready. So I know we just paraphrased a lot of that chapter, but there's a lot of description too. So that's kind of
like literally I actually took notes this chapter because I was like, no, there's got to be something here like that.
Yeah.
My notes.
I try to tell you, when I was listening, like, it was interesting, but it was a very descriptive chapter, and then I would kind of zone out, and then something important would happen. I'd be like, wait, what? Rewind. And
the only thing was tipped over is the fact that Rand has no idea where Lan is gone.
Yeah, they mentioned that briefly, and Nynaeve doesn't talk about it. Just very tight-lipped.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to keep being upset about it. Like, I'm gonna go with what's done is done, and it's going in the direction it's going. And yeah, I like the direction it's going. So
okay.
I won't say that.
Gotcha.
There you go. There we have it. So that's all we got for this chapter. So anything else you guys want to talk about this chapter before we go to favorite character?
Can you reread that section with Nynaeve and the merchant again? I want to see if I get goosebumps again.
Let's see. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I have to go find
the hair on your legs is so sexy.
Transfer vows, gold
That's what I
crane.
heard.
It is. I got nice hairy legs.
I can actually read word for word from it. Let's see. Do you recognize this? She said, fishing out a leather cord from her neck. His breath caught. He stretched his hand out, brushed his finger against the heavy gold signet ring on the cord, across the crane in flight. How had she come by this? Under the light, how? I recognize it, he told her, his voice suddenly hoarse. My name is Nynaeve Till Almera Mandragoran. The message I once sent is this. My husband rides from World's End towards Tarwin Gap, towards Tarmogoydan. Will he ride alone? He trembled. He did not know whether he was laughing or crying. Perhaps both. She was his wife? I will send your message, my lady, but it has nothing to do with me. I am a merchant. Malkir is dead. Dead, I tell you. The heat in her eyes seemed to intensify. She gripped her long, thick braid in one hand. Lan once told me Malkir lives as so long as one man wears the Hadori. and pledge that he will fight the shadow. So long as one woman wears the Kassain and pledge that she will send her sons to fight the shadow. I wear the Kassain, Master Aldragoran. My husband wears the Hadori. So do you. Will Land Dragon ride to the last battle alone? Anyway.
Bro, it got me again.
Well,
It's-
I can see your hands. Yeah.
It's
Well,
good.
We're gonna ride it out for the next few books.
We're gonna be riding for the next few. It's a long ways to go, so he's gonna be riding a long way.
I'd ride Lan with Lan. Well, you know.
Who wants a mustache ride?
I do.
I do. Okay. Favorite character? Let's go. Ooh.
Let's see here. Who is my favorite character? I should just say Nynaeve, just because.
Just to get in skin.
No, it wouldn't bother me.
Darth Nynaeve.
I want to
Anakin.
say Nynaeve for what Alan just read.
Yes, because she's there 100% for her man, and she did what was best for him. I know if she didn't do it the best way, but she did what was best for him.
She wants him
The
to
way
survive.
she's following through with it is pretty badass. You know,
Yeah.
she
Mhm.
showed up with that merchant as, like you pointed out, Lan's wife, Queen of
Mhm.
Malkir,
Mhm.
and she stood in that role
Yeah.
big time. So
So yeah, Nynaeve.
yeah, don't worry about my feelings. Put it out there. It's true. It was good.
Trying to flex on Azul. I've heard Michael and Kate in person. Everyone teared up.
Mhm.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh. I don't know.
Don't know.
And what's bad is, like, I'm more likely to say Nynaeve than Lan.
Yeah.
Lan's gonna have his moments coming up, I'm sure, but it's not Lan.
Yeah.
Maybe also
go
give
Ca-
it to-
I'll go Cad Swain. You know, she got the nod from Varen, which I mentioned earlier. I think is pretty significant, and she's doing a good job in this role of taking care of Rand. You know, she's letting him do his thing, but she has boundaries that he ain't crossing, and she's whooping his ass when he needs his ass whooped.
Yeah.
And Luz likes it apparently.
Yeah.
So get out of here with that skinny ketchup.
Mhm.
Chris, favorite character? You said Nynaeve?
Yeah, I'm sticking with
Okay.
Nynaeve.
Sticking with Nynaeve.
Yeah.
I'll give it to Loyal. Just because he's smitten. And I
That's a
love
good
Loyal.
one.
I love
He is.
smitten
Yeah.
Loyal.
His ears are all over the
Yeah.
fucking place. He's
It is. It's great. Yeah. Rand is the second. Bell is the first. Yeah. That's good.
It would be super cool if they had it in the show where the ears could like
Yeah.
do
We're going
things
crazy.
like that. Yeah.
Look, Master Hammond wanted Loyal back in the steading for a solid month so he could go knock the boots and make little
Yeah.
Loyal babies.
Mhm.
Third, Tomeo. Next week we'll be doing 2 chapters again. To make an anchor weep.
Anchor ANC or Acre
damn it.
ACRE.
ANCHOR.
Okay,
Like a
cool.
ship
Like
anchor.
a ship anchor.
Yeah. Like an anchor
Ooh,
weep.
are we gonna start
Um,
seeing the disc being destroyed again?
I don't know. And then the next one is Call to a Sitting. Call to a Sitting.
Is that a loyal chapter? Do they sit at the stop?
I don't know if they sit the stump. But sitters sit.
Why
I
would
sit
you
die.
sit-
Yeah, maybe we be jumping back to Egwene.
Yeah. I'm not going to go there with sitting. Anyways, so yeah, that'll be next week, next Tuesday. And yeah, so how you found is if we're still here next Tuesday, it is. There's
I was
a
about
lot.
to say, pray for us out there.
Yeah, anybody who's international, pray for America tonight, just because.
Just pray.
These next few days are going to be interesting. No matter who wins
Yeah.
the election, it is. Our country is very much.
The memes that I'm seeing on Facebook are disturbing. I'm going away from Facebook.
Oh, I've stayed off of social media today.
I have
Let
to
me tell you.
stay far away from it. But so yeah, keep us in your thoughts because it's gonna be interesting next few days. But anyways, if we are here and we still have a thing called internet and we're not plunged into the Middle Ages again, we'll be recording next Tuesday and doing 2 chapters. But in the meantime, you can find us as long as nothing collapses at thewheelreads.com. Find all sorts of cool stuff like links to Patreon and links to our Discord and merchandise.
Or worst case, somewhere off the coast of Virginia or the Carolinas, because my backup plan is to bug out to one of these swanky marinas where people have like 60-foot yachts that they never use and they're fully stocked, and I'm gonna just go take one. So
facts.
I'm sailing away.
and I'm gonna sing that every time I get on a boat. I sing that shit
I do too.
in the Cartman voice, which is the worst part.
Hey.
'Cause I got to be free.
I think it's probably like
That
90s.
and the Muppets. I sing in the Muppets a lot on So that's singing for adventure in the deep blue wet day.
Yeah.
Hey ho, we'll go anywhere the wind is blowing. Anyway, so-
Margaritas at the midnight buffet. Those rats crack me up. All right.
All right. Anyways, that's all I got for this week. So,
Until next time.
Peace.
okay, bye. Oh wait, I gotta actually get the whole thing ready for the actual outro.
Maybe for the
I
last
failed. I was just gonna end the stream.
Thank you for watching The Wheel Reads.
Until next time.
Okay, bye.
Get your Coast Guard certified life-saving
Sure.
device ready and
Sure.
strapped on.
Oh, where are we doing tonight?
What kind of strap on you talking about? Sure.